The Dallas Cowboys last season had a year where they thought it was finally the year where they were going to make it to the NFC Championship and even the Super Bowl again finally, but, that just didn't happen. Dak Prescott kept his name in MVP talks all season long, and we also saw CeeDee Lamb have one of the best receiver season amongst receivers last season. There's just some things that need to get taken care of if Dallas wants to make it back to the Super Bowl. Some would even argue they had the team to do it last season. Cowboys fans were frustrated by the team's lack of activity in free agency, but the draft helped upgrade their strong offensive and defensive line. Despite Smith's departure, Dak Prescott should still have good protection as Dallas used their first round pick on Guyton, the new left tackle. The Cowboys also selected Beebe in the third round to compete with Brock Hoffman for the starting center position. However, they overlooked the skill positions and are now counting on Ezekiel Elliott to regain his form as their top running back again as Tony Pollard left in free agency. The team also needs a third wideout to support CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cook. Additionally, the team has yet to work out extension with Lamb and Micah Parsons, and there is a contract issue with Prescott. Perhaps the team wants him to improve himself in the postseason before negotiating a new deal. The Cowboys lost depth on the defensive line due to notable departures, including Fowler and Armstrong joining the Commanders. Nealand, a second-round pick, might assist Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. While the secondary remains strong, there is uncertainty with the linebackers. Let's take a look at what the Cowboys did in the draft to help improve this roster. Tyler Guyton was selected in the first round, and he joins the Dallas Cowboys after playing at TCU and transferring to Oklahoma. A Texas native, he will return to his home state in 2024. With 29 collegiate games under his belt, he brings ample experience and the versatility to play both right and left tackle. In 2023, Guyton earned an honorable All-Big 12 mention. This 6'8", 322-pound lineman allowed 0 sacks and 355 pass blocking snaps last season. The previous year, Guyton allowed just 2 sacks and 400 pass blocking snaps, further demonstrating his ability to shield his quarterback. This is a crucial stat given the departure of future Hall of Fame left tackle Tyron Smith, who helped protect Dak Prescott's blind side. Guyton's exceptional frame and agility make him one of the most athletic offensive linemen in his class. As a run blocker, he excels at pulling and pushing, consistently opening impressive run lanes. However, to dominate at the NFL level, he needs to perfect his hand placement and maintain a low pad level. This is crucial given his height can be a disadvantage if his pads rise. Under the guidance of Mike McCarthy, Guyton is expected to make an immediate impact. Guyton brings size, youth, potential, and hunger to the Cowboys offensive line. One thing became clear in the first couple of days after this draft is Guyton is thrilled to join the Cowboys. While some might argue the enthusiasm doesn't matter if he can't perform, others believe it does. If a player is passionate about being there and striving for greatness, he'll put in the work to succeed. Guyton has already spoke with Tyler Smith and Zach Martin within the first 24 hours of being drafted, indicating his readiness to integrate into this team, which is exactly what the Cowboys hoped for by selecting him in the first round. Unlike some players drafted this year, there's no question about Guyton's position. He's set to be a left tackle. The question now is whether he's ready to play immediately. Typically, a first round pick is expected to be ready right away or soon after. There are exceptions, as the Cowboys saw with Mozzie Smith last year, but Tyler Guyton is anticipated to step in at left tackle, allowing Tyler Smith to remain at left guard. Though there might be a learning curve since Guyton played right tackle at Oklahoma, he expressed confidence over the weekend that the transition won't be difficult and that he expects to compete immediately for the left tackle spot. In the second round, the Cowboys selected Marshawn Nealand, a defensive end from Western Michigan. Nealand showcased impressive athleticism at the combine and recorded 12.5 sacks and 28 tackles for loss over 37 games. His athletic ability suggests he could develop into an elite pass rusher, learning from Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. The Cowboys addressed their offensive line issues by drafting Cooper Beebe, an offensive lineman from Kansas State. Beebe, a 2-time Big 12 lineman of the year and a first-time All-American, is expected to start at the center position next season. He offers excellent depth across various positions on the offensive line. In the third round, the Cowboys added depth to their linebacker corps by drafting Maurice Liufau from Notre Dame. Liufau's athleticism and tackling ability make him a promising addition to the team. With a weak linebacker room and the new kickoff rule change, Liufau is expected to see some playing time. ESPN described Liufau as an aggressive and tough player, highlighting his potential. The most criticized decision, though, of the draft was not selecting a running back. With Tony Pollard's departure, the Cowboys were expected to draft a running back early. When asked about this, Vice President Stephen Jones said, "It just felt like every time the situation was there for us to make a pick and do the right thing, it wasn't a running back." While the Cowboys re-signed Ezekiel Elliott, his productivity has declined and is nearing the end of his career. Overall, the Cowboys were productive and efficient in this year's draft. They addressed many weak positions and they added depth. They did what they could in the draft to strengthen the trenches, but the offense still has some gaps, especially especially putting another receiver in this offense. Like I mentioned, the Cowboys went ahead and brought back Ezekiel Elliott on a 1-year deal. Elliott spent his first 7 years with the Cowboys, becoming the franchise third all-time leading rusher, trailing only Hall of Famers Emmitt Smith and Tony Dorsett. He earned 3 Pro Bowl selections and 1 All-Pro honor. In 103 games, he amassed 8,262 yards on 1,881 carries, scoring 68 touchdowns. Additionally, he caught 305 passes for 2,336 yards and 12 touchdowns. Last year, he led the Patriots in rushing yards with 642 and receptions with 51. Although he hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game since 2021, he's not ready to give up his status as a starting running back. No one is more thrilled about Elliott's return than Dak Prescott. Elliott and Prescott have shared a strong bond since they were both drafted in 2016. However, one thing will be different about Elliott's return. He will change his uniform number from the number 21 he wore in Dallas to the number 15 he wore in New England and at Ohio State. This is good, bringing in back Zeke, who has a good relationship with Dak in the front office, but they need to be able to produce highly. We saw Tony Pollard not find a lot of success we all thought he would, but hopefully Zeke can help the run game improve. One concern right now during OTAs is the absence of CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb skipped the Dallas Cowboys minicamp, receiving over $100,000 in fines. The star wide receiver is pursuing a new contract after Justin Jefferson's $140 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings reset the wide receiver market. Lamb is now looking for a comparable deal, but what if the Cowboys can't reach an agreement with Lamb? They could theoretically place the franchise tag on him after the season if a long-term deal isn't reached. Besides a new contract or franchise tag, there's also another option. The Cowboys would have to trade him if they didn't go with one of those options, but I highly doubt the Cowboys would want to do that. Like I mentioned, they're going to have to work out some contract this coming season, and that was one of the things that will be interesting to watch. This team has the ability to make a deep playoff run as they have the defense to do so and the talent on offense as long as the proper pass protection. This team shows in the regular season great glimpses of what they can do, but every year in the playoffs it seems like they crumble. This has been something that has been going on with Dallas for a while now. So now with the moves they made this offseason and in the draft, hopefully this is the year where they can play good football throughout the playoffs and not just in the regular season. This is very important, especially when you have some very big contracts to negotiate next offseason and during the season. If you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe. You turn the notification bell on so you never miss a Cowboys video or any video at all. Leave a like while you're at it. Comment down below what you're most excited for this upcoming season, and I'll see y'all in the next one.